Welcome back to Energy Atlas, the podcast where we explore smarter ways to power the world. I am your host, Rasul, and today we will look at how Finland is addressing one of the fastest growing challenges of the digital economy, the massive amount of heat produced by data centers. As artificial intelligence and cloud computing drive a surge in data center construction, these facilities are becoming major electricity consumers. What receives far less attention is the heat they generate as a byproduct. In Finland, that heat is no longer treated as a waste, it's increasingly treated as an energy source. Modern data centers convert most of the electricity they consume into heat. Servers, cooling systems, and power infrastructure all release thermal energy, which in many countries is simply expelled into the air. In colder climates, this represents a significant inefficiency. Finland's approach is to capture that excess heat and integrate it into district heating systems that supply homes, offices, and public buildings. District heating already plays a central role in Finnish cities, covering a large share of residential heating demand in urban areas. What changed is the role of data center. Instead of acting only as electricity consumers, they become potential heat suppliers within urban energy systems. The technical foundation of this model is industrial heat pumps. Waste heat from data centers is captured through liquid cooling systems and transferred to heat pumps, which raise the temperature to levels suitable for district heating networks. As a result, Helsinki now operates large underground heat pump facilities that collect low-temperature waste heat from data centers and inject it directly into the city's heating system. What matters here is integration. These systems are typically developed in cooperation with municipal utilities and connected to existing infrastructure rather than built in isolation. This model works particularly well in Finland and other Nordic countries. Cold climates ensure steady, year-round demand for heating. Dense urban planning reduces the distance between data centers and district heating networks. At the same time, Finland's electricity system is relatively stable and increasingly low carbon, which improves the overall emissions profile of heat pump-based solutions. Huang and colleagues emphasize that waste heat reuse becomes economically viable when electricity grids are reliable and when heat demand is predictable. This explains why similar projects have struggled in regions without district heating or with warmer climates. Finland's advantage is not only technical, it's institutional. Research by Luca shows that data center operators, district heating companies, and municipalities operate within a relatively coherent regulatory framework. This lowers transaction costs and makes long-term investment more predictable. Importantly, waste heat projects are often planned at the design stage of data centers rather than added later. Walros and colleagues find that early integration significantly improves energy efficiency and shortens payback periods. What this tells us is that coordination matters as much as technology. This shift reflects a broader transformation in how data centers are perceived. Rather than functioning solely as passive electricity consumers, they are increasingly becoming active participants in energy systems. In Finland, data centers are exploring demand response, grid balancing, and participation in reserve markets alongside heat recovery. Luca describes waste heat utilization as one of the most promising sustainable business model innovations in the Nordic data center sector. When heat can be sold to district heating networks, data centers gain an additional revenue stream, while cities reduce reliance on fossil-based heating. Despite its promise, the model has clear constraints. Waste heat reuse requires proximity to heat demand, making it less viable for remote or rural data centers. It also depends on long-term policy stability and public acceptance. Patinen notes that debates around electricity taxation and the social value of data centers show that legitimacy cannot be assumed, even in countries with strong institutions. Moreover, heat recovery does not eliminate rising electricity demand driven by artificial intelligence. It improves efficiency, but it does not solve capacity constraints on its own. So here is the takeaway. Finland's approach shows how digital infrastructure and energy systems can be integrated more intelligently. By treating heat as a resource rather than a byproduct, cities can reduce waste, improve efficiency, and lower emissions without building entirely new systems. This model is not universally transferable, but it offers a clear lesson. The challenges created by digital growth do not always require more energy supply. In some cases, they require better use of what is already produced. Thanks for tuning into Energy Atlas, and until next time, remember, efficiency is not only about technology, but about how systems are connected.